Hey everyone, this is chapter 9. The entire chapter is on transformations. This specific section is 9.1 on translations. Suppose you write the letters shown on squares of tracing paper so their shapes are visible from both sides. For each pair of words, how can you move the squares of paper to change word A into word B? No square should remain in its original position. All right, so tell me, how did we go from hum to ice? How did we go from bob to pod? How did we go from zip to pin? All right, so kind of explain those three and then get back to me. Definitions. Transformation is a change in position, shape, or size of a figure. All right, feel free to pause so you can write all these down. The pre-image is the original figure before we change its position, shape, or size. The image is the resulting figure after being changed. Okay? And then something called rigid motions. That's exactly what this entire chapter is on. A translation is part of our rigid motions. That's a change that preserves distance and angle measures of your figure. So your rigid motions are like these, which are a flip, okay, a slide, or a turn, or a rotation. Identifying a rigid motion. Does the transformation at the right appear to be a rigid motion? Well, for something to be a rigid motion, they preserve distance and angle measure. We went from one small square to a much larger square. Well, that didn't preserve distance. So this is not a rigid motion. Does the transformation appear to be a rigid motion? Explain. Well, all I see is a nice reflection here, okay, and that kept the image the same. And then again here, all I see is a reflection and then a slide from the pre-image to the post-image. They are the same size. That's a rigid motion. A transformation maps every point of a figure onto its image and may be described with arrow notation or prime notation, is sometimes used to identify image points. In the diagram below, K prime is the image of K. So all they're saying is that if you have these 3 points of your triangle, and this is your pre-image, and this blue one is your image, the result, right? So K maps to K prime. J maps to J prime. Q maps to Q prime. Okay? And all you could say is triangle JKQ maps to triangle J prime, K prime, Q prime. All right, so fill that in and draw your arrows into this image here. Okay? A translation is a transformation that maps all points of a figure the same distance in the same direction, right? Same distance, same direction. Okay, translations follow rules, okay? This is a lot of stuff here, but this is what it looks like, okay? Translation T, and then you have 2 numbers, one in the front and one in the back. And if that number is positive in the front, you move right. If it's negative, you move left. If it's positive in the back, you move up, or negative in the back, you move down, okay? What are the vertices of a translation of -2, -5? Well, if you go back, we just said negative in the front means left, and negative in the back means down. So that means left 2, down 5. Graph the image of PQR. Okay, so if we're going left 2 and down 5, okay, each point is going to go left 2 and down 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then your new image would be somewhere down here. Okay, R prime, Q prime, P prime. All right, it says identify the coordinates of each vertex. Use the translation rule to find the coordinates of the vertex. Okay, so from R to R prime, we went left 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From Q to Q prime, we went left 2, down 5. And from P to P prime, we went left 2 and down 5. Okay. So what is the location of each of these new points is the question here. So we have R prime, Q prime, and P prime. Now R from the center is at 1, 2, 3. So negative 3, negative 2. Q prime from the center or the origin is right 1, down 2. So 1, negative 2. And P prime from the origin is just down 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, negative 4. What is the rule that describes the translation that maps PQRS onto P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime? Well, from P to P prime, okay, you're going right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going down 1, 2. So see if that works for the rest. From S, you go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down 2, 8, negative 2. Q would be the same, and R is also going to be the same. So your rule here, or your transformation, is going to be a positive 8, negative 2. Okay, your exit slip. The diagram at the right shows the moves of a black bishop in a chess game. Where is the bishop in relation to its original position? So it moves from here to here to here, and they want from position 1 to position 3. Well, that was a translation down 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and if we do that following the right order, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 2. So 6, negative 2. So the translation 6, negative 2. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to submit your work.